miracles in this church this year, and we're already seeing them, and it's only like March. How exciting. I can't wait. I really can't wait. This band, this worship team is going places this year, guys, and I'm so excited to be a part of this ride with you. And what I'd like to do over the coming weeks is just download a lot of information, but just really help educate you and teach you about what it means to be up on this stage, and hopefully give you some tools and tips that can really help you grow as a worshipper, and really so we can just, I guess my dream is to just reach out beyond these walls, like it said in that letter, and really influence this city, and moving beyond just, doing worship on a Sunday, but to worship nights, to doing stuff outside these doors. And come on, this is going to be an exciting year. So what I'm going to talk about today is stage presence. And I always love to start off with Bible quotes. So these are two that I found that I think really depict what the Bible says about stage presence. Jesus said that the greatest commandments are to love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind and soul, and with all your strength. Romans 12:1. I loved this when I was reading this yesterday. Therefore, I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship. We have to learn to use our bodies in a way that helps people connect with Jesus. Tonight, I'm going to share with you 7 tips to improve your stage presence, and pretty much how we can use our bodies to worship and lead people to God. So if you have your notebooks out, please take notes. But number 1 is to be aware. Aware of what's going on with your body, your posture, your hands, your facial expressions. All of these things can make or break moments during worship. Our body language conveys way more than the notes we sing and the words we play, or the words we sing and the notes we play. I'm just going to give you an example. These are things I might stand up here so you guys can see me. These are things I've seen on stage over the years, worshipping. How great is our God? Sing with me, how great. What does that look like to you? Yeah? Do I look like I'm in pain as well? Yeah. So you might be really into it, but your facial expression says you're in pain. So the congregation are going to be trying to empathise with you rather than worshipping, feeling probably sorry that you're in so much pain. Here's another one that I've seen. Hey God, we sing to you. Hey God. What about that? What am I doing there? It's funny. I look like I'm falling. You're relaxed, but you're falling asleep, and the congregation's going to fall asleep with you. So if you stand there and you're just so into it with yourself and singing and really into it, but you're missing out on the congregation. You're not engaging with them. You're not being aware of your surroundings, and this is really important. I think, for me, when I was first learning to worship, the easiest thing you can do, this is hands down the easiest thing, is just practice smiling. That's it. Smiling. Your smile will light up the room. Your smile will light up the stage. There's something so welcoming to the congregation about a smile. And guess what? People will smile back at you. Imagine if you came to church on a Sunday and everyone up here on stage was smiling. Wouldn't you feel like, yeah, this is great, worship, awesome. That's what we want to be giving to the congregation, is that, feeling of, this is a welcoming place, and wow, the worship team are really enjoying themselves, So I'll move on from there. Be aware of your body movements, that they are in line with the song. I mean, if we're singing, your presence is heaven, do you think that's in line with the song? No, it's not, is it? So, and the same thing goes for a fast song. If we're singing, happy, singing a happy song and a fast song, and you're just standing there and not moving at all, you're not being aware of, the song, the dynamics and the movement that you could possibly be doing in that song to help lift the congregation. I also believe that everyone, regardless of whether they have a microphone or not, so this includes music people, if you're playing the piano and don't have a microphone, if it's just the song leader singing and the backing vocalists can sing too, I really think everyone should be singing, and enjoying it. That's a really important part of worship, just singing and enjoying it, whether you have a microphone or not, okay? And this also, it's really important, it'll limit the amount of distraction, because if the congregation see everyone smiling and moving to the music and everyone's singing, they're going to want to do it too. And it really is that roll-on effect. You are modelling to the congregation how to worship, and you are leading them, and that is so important. All right, I'll move on to my next point, otherwise we'll never get through this. Number 2 is to be confident. This is important. Don't be nervous. If you're nervous, the congregation is going to be nervous for you, okay? One way to be more confident is to be prepared. Know your music. There's nothing worse than not being able to remember a lyric or playing a bung note on, instrument during a worship set, because everyone will notice it, and it is awkward, and it does break the moments in our worship. The other thing I would like us to move away and kind of have on the side of the stage are these things called music stands. Music stands are great for practice and things like that, don't get me wrong, but when we're worshipping, these stands actually act like a barrier between you and the congregation, because what tends to happen is, even though I know it, I'm still going to be focusing on the next lyric. I'm still going to be focusing on that next note, and I'm totally missing, engaging the congregation, and that is really, really important. With this away, I'm going to be looking out, and I'm going to be more aware of my surroundings and going to be more confident. So, again, another really good point. So, know your music, plain and simple. Don't bury your head in a music stand. And you'll probably find too, like if you go on YouTube, all the really big worship bands, they don't use stands. No way. They wouldn't be allowed to, and there's a very good reason for it. Lift your head, look out, be prepared. It's the key to being confident. Number 3, what have I got here? Be an example. Our congregations are a reflection of us, like I was saying before. If we are bored or not passionate on stage, the congregation will be the same. If you are excited and happy, the congregation will be too. If you mean every note you play and really believe everything that you sing, the congregation is going to believe you too. I have to say, I've seen some amazing things over my time as a worshipper. I remember moments where a song leader literally would bring the whole congregation, like thousands of people, to tears. Why? Because of the way they sung, because of their passion, because of their love for Jesus, and that just shined through their singing. Imagine if we could do that, move the congregation just through the way we play and sing. Incredible, it's amazing. And one other thing you can do with being an example is really understand, I guess, what it means to be up here, that you can actually change lives, literally change lives. Like, no joke. People coming in here from all different backgrounds, you don't know where they're from, and something that you sing to them might touch their heart and change the course of that person's life. And just the power that we have up here is just incredible, to be able to channel that love that God has for them and really embrace that. So don't take it for granted. Once we kind of get to that level and we're getting there to where we can hit that sweet spot and move a congregation, it's like, and it doesn't happen very, very often, but there's times when you can just literally, as a worshipper, stand back and see a wave going through the congregation, a wave of the Holy Spirit, and you can just see everyone's moving in time with you, and it's just like this slow calm. And once you can get a taste for that, you'll never want to go back. You'll always be striving for that. Point number 4 is togetherness. As a worship team, we are not in it individually, we are in it together, okay? It doesn't matter if you're, even on Sunday, if we only have like 3 people up here and the rest of us are in the congregation, we're still part of the worship team. And togetherness is, really, really important. One thing that, was drummed into us in my old church was if it's a fast song, for example, and the song leader starts clapping, if everybody starts clapping, if you can, obviously, you're not playing guitar, but if everyone starts clapping, the congregation are going to clap too. If only one person's clapping, then the congregation, maybe 1 or 2 might. It's really a reflection, but if you're all into it, the congregation, and it's the same with smiling. If everyone on stage is smiling, everyone's going to be smiling back at you. If everyone on stage is dancing to the music, then again, they're all going to be really happy and lively with you. And you might even remember, some times where you have done that, have clapped and you have seen the difference and the response the congregation gives you when you do that. They're the moments you want to capture and build on and really focus on that and really deconstruct after you finish a worship set which things worked, what didn't work, what things can we do again or improve on. And that's how we get to that next level. Now, where am I up to? And also, obviously, the sound, playing together as a band, making sure we have enough light and shade. I'm actually going to be talking about sound next week, so won't spend a lot on that tonight. But really, as a team, playing together and really, again, together, emphasising the word together. Number 5, and I probably mentioned this all already, but I like this one, be engaged, okay? Be engaged with the congregation. Open your eyes, enjoy the worshipping, enjoy the music, enjoy your instrument, enjoy the Lord. Simple. If you're enjoying the worship and the congregation, it's just going to be such a beautiful atmosphere to be in. And I remember a few weeks back when I talked about atmospheres, this is really where it all starts with the worship team. They're going to respond better, when you're engaged. They're going to respond better when you're not closing your eyes, when you're actually looking out and you're worshipping to them. They're going to respond back, and that's really important. Number 6, be in control. This is an interesting one. I thought a lot about this. Using your body to lead the room. So this applies particularly to song leaders. So if you're a song leader and you are about to start a song, stepping into the mic just so the congregation can follow you. And when it might be coming up to an instrumental, step, back from the mic, so the congregation know that there's a bit of an instrumental happening. It's really important when you're in control and you're really guiding the congregation to make sure that they are following exactly what you're saying with ease, and it's not difficult. It's not them trying to work out what part to sing next. You're leading them. And the backing vocalists and obviously the rest of the band are watching the song leader and looking for the cues from the song leader to go in and out of the songs. And something we're going to look at also next week is using some body language to learn to key people, like chorus, bridge, verse 1, verse 2, finish. Using hand signals to help communicate with everyone on the team so we are in control of the worship and there is no uncertainty, again, which is another important point. The other thing too is sometimes you might have 2 different song leaders on a Sunday. Hopefully when we get, a bigger team, we are going to see 2 or 3 sometimes on a Sunday for each song. It's good to, again, as all the other singers, if let's just say Orongo's here and it's her, I've just song led and now it's hers, that everyone looks at Orongo. So the congregation know, it's a change of song leader. Now Orongo's leading this one, and then Orongo steps in to the mic and sings. And again, it's just all about being in control. And we're up to point 7. How am I going for time? Nearly 2 minutes. This is really important. This is probably by far the most important of the whole list, is don't be a distraction. The way you dress needs to be appropriate to the context. The way you move needs to be appropriate to the context. The facial expressions, everything needs to be, again, appropriate to the context. If you are doing something out of that stands out, you are basically distracting the congregation, and it is harsh, but if they're watching you and looking at you and not looking at God, we're missing the whole point about being invisible, and that's really, really important. What am I saying here? So in a fast song, like I was saying before, let's move, let's, all do it together. If it's just one person doing it, there's going to be distraction happening on stage. If everyone's doing it, it minimises the level of distraction. And that's something I think as a team we can focus on, is having everything so uniform and practiced and being confident that you're going to minimise that. And so the congregation is going to be focusing more on worshipping than they are on what each of an individual is doing. I wrote some things like here. So be aware of your facial expressions. Add to that process, when you're singing, of authenticity and connection. If you look like you're in pain when you're singing, people will be trying to empathise with you, as I said before, rather than worship. Be aware of your facial expressions. Make sure they're not a distraction. Biggest thing, be natural versus awkward, like in anything. And be comfortable in your own skin. Just be comfortable. Not everyone knows how to, move, but whatever feels natural to you, as long as you're not standing still in like a really fast song and you're like this, you've got to at least make an effort to move and bop. Not everyone's going to be confident. The song leader raises their hand. Doesn't matter what degree your hand is at, really. No, just raise it. Out, up, down, whatever, but it needs to be, again, everyone doing it. Yeah, so basically, I spoke about this a few weeks back, if you weren't here for it. Being invisible is not about actually physically being invisible, but it is about when you're worshipping and again, everyone's doing the same thing. So like with movement, if we're all moving up and down on stage, then nobody is standing out. So in essence, you are invisible to the congregation. Everyone's doing the same thing. They're less likely to notice you, if that makes sense. When you are, even doing a slow song and everyone's standing there, if everyone's doing the same thing, you're going to be invisible. And the congregation aren't going to be focusing on something that looks out of the ordinary or somebody moving too quickly. Everyone's doing the same thing. So their focus is going to be on God. And that's more what I mean with regards to being invisible is as a worshipper, we don't want to be focusing on ourselves. We don't want people to be going, "Ooh, she's wearing this," and "Ooh, she was moving a bit fast in that song." We want them to be going, "Wow, I feel God's presence, wow." And at the end of it, not remember any particular singer or player, to remember God and feel that movement of God.